Hello everyone, you are on Patrick's channel. I'm Catherine, and today we will be making an Easter cake with you, which is very unusual, original. Such a cake will be eaten very quickly from your holiday table. Not a single piece will be left because we will be adding baked Oreo and chocolate to this cake. And we will not just decorate it with icing, but we will make a very tasty cream cheese frosting with you, slightly sweet. We will also decorate it with the same Oreo and the same chocolate. And let's get down to the recipe already, because personally I want to try all this. We'll start with the fact that we need to beat the eggs with sugar. I have 20 grams of sugar here, and I'm adding a little vanilla sugar to it just to make our flavor more delicious, more pleasant. We need to add melted but already cooled butter here. Beat it one more time. And now we need to add 300 grams of cottage cheese. I took rice flour because I want my baking to be more tender. Add about a teaspoon of baking powder to the mug, and you'll need between 200 and 300 grams of mugs, depending on what kind of cottage cheese you have. It can be moist or it can be dry. And you should adjust this consistency yourself. I decided to start with 20 grams. And I think that will be quite enough for me. And gradually we will introduce the flour and mix our dough well. And we need to sprinkle a little of our favorite chocolate very finely, and I won't sprinkle it. I need small pieces to be in the dough. It will melt very nicely in the oven. We need to do the same thing with the nuts. Now we send all of this into our mass. And let our mass sit at room temperature for about 20 minutes. Then our pastry will be more juicy. I'm going to bake in these ordinary paper molds. Inside, you need to grease with butter so it doesn't stick. Although in principle it doesn't matter, the paper mold will stick anyway, just not as much. And now, we can now fill our molds. And we send it to bake until ready at somewhere between 170 to 180 degrees. The baking time will depend on what kind of mold you have, its height, width, diameter, so the baking time can vary from 30 minutes to an hour. And now we need to prepare the cream with which we will grease our Easter cake. It will be cottage cheese mixed with powdered sugar. And here we add powdered sugar and also sprinkle one of our baked goods here. I just want there to be such small inclusions, so that the cream is not purely white, but with such small inclusions. We will also add literally a few drops, a teaspoon of liqueur here, to make it a bit softer. To be continued. 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 So these are the versions of our creative Easter cake that we ended up with. Decorate it to your liking. Personally, I also made one with the help of Oreo, with the help of chocolate. You can also use a regular glaze made from protein made with powdered sugar. By the way, you can make it, I had a Napoleon style in my cake. I made a very tasty cream there with mascarpone and powdered sugar. The Coolidge's cross-section reveals the abundance of chocolate and baked goods within it. I've already tried it. The dough inside is very moist. The dough inside is extremely moist. It's like a pie, you know, like a potato pie. It has the same consistency, very tasty. Honestly, I only made curd pascas because I don't really like it when the pasca is dry. When it's with yeast, it gets stale there. I love specifically the curd versions. They are really like pies to taste. Seriously. In general, I highly recommend you try exactly this version of the Easter Coolidge. I think that someone's children have always refused the usual classic Easter Coolidge because it's not very tasty, not very sweet, more like bread. But no one will refuse such a Coolidge, really. And I want to congratulate you on the upcoming holiday. May the Holy Easter bring you hope and confidence in the future. And may peace and love reign in your family. You were with Catherine on Patrick's channel. See you in the next video.